Hi, I'm Shannon, owner of Pahrump Early Learning Academy, where we are more than just childcare.
Hi, I'm Monique Mitchell with KPVM Television. My children attend Pella and they love it. The curriculum they have is pretty amazing, and my children learn what they need at their level.
Not only are the children learning, they're having fun, and that's what matters.
I like Pella. They help you with your homework, and it's fun.
Give us a call today to tour our facility at 751-5335.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349.
Tonight on News 46, Pahrump's annual Fall Festival is set to begin. Time to buy your envelopes for the Pony Express Trail Ride, and Comedy Night is coming back to Sanders Family Winery. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, September 24th, 2014. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. It's the 50th anniversary of the Pahrump Annual Fall Festival and Parade. The theme of this year's parade, which will be held on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Highway 160, is Nevada 150-year sequencentennial birthday. KPVM-TV will be broadcasting the parade live and also having repeats throughout the weekend, as well as appearing in the parade as the last vehicle. The carnival is provided by Pahrump's own Davis Amusements, who is setting up right now at Petrick Park to begin tomorrow night at 5 p.m. You can get day passes at the ticket booths. The entertainment schedule is a mixture of rock, country, and various shows and games held on the stage in the basketball courts at our own Petrick Park, located on Basin and Highway 160. The rodeo will be held Friday and Saturday night. Gates open at 6. The rodeo starts at 7:30 in the McCullough Arena, located at the back of the park. Vendor booths will be selling everything from food to beer to cowboy hats for the event. There's also our annual arts and crafts show inside the Bob Roode Community Center. It all begins tomorrow night at 5 p.m. and lasts through Sunday at 5. And we want to remind everybody, animals as well as the master gardeners. The Pony Express Trail Ride is also a big part of Pahrump history. We spoke to Doug Shaw to find out about this year's event.
Well, we're doing the 14th annual Pony Express Trail Ride again, which will be a fundraiser to support CASA, the same as we did last year. And we have the envelopes for sale. That's how we raise our funds, either from sale of the envelopes or through sponsorships.
How can people buy an envelope?
The envelopes are for sale at the Chamber of Commerce, and they're also available through CASA, and there are some for sale out at the Griffith Feed Store, which is one of our stops.
And that's located where?
That's out at 621 Mesquite.
Tell everybody what the Pony Express Trail Ride is.
Well, as I say, this is our 14th year to be doing this, and it's a ride that it's put together and organized to bring a lot of different riders in from around the Pahrump area. It is a fundraiser for various communities.
Where are you guys starting?
And we're going to be starting out from, we're going to do the parade first. At the end of the parade, then we will start the ride from the Petrack Park, from the arena area. And we're only going to do about an 8-mile ride this year, which is a fairly short ride for us. We'll be having 2 stops along the way, and we're doing some things that are a little different this year. We're going to have some challenges, what we're calling challenges, at each of the 2 stops, which will a little competition for the horse and riders. Mm-hmm. And then there's also will be a lunch made available at the Sugar Shack at the stage stop. Mm-hmm. And then we will be back at the park, the mail will be back at the park at 2:30.
So people can expect you to come back at the park at 2:30 and ride on in, right?
We will be riding in. We're able to bring in 2 or 3 horses because of the crowd that's usually there. So we'll be bringing the mail in by horseback to the stage area, and then the rest of the riders will probably be coming in about 3:30.
Wonderful. So once again, people can buy the envelopes right now. How much are they?
They're $5, the same price as they were in 1860. It's probably the only thing around that there hasn't been a price increase in 152 years.
For more information, is there a number to call?
They can contact me on my cell phone at 764-8004.
Kiwanis Comedy Night is back. We caught up with the owner of Sanders Family Winery to give you the scoop.
It's called Laughing Under the Stars, and this is actually a semi-annual event. We normally do one in the spring and one in the fall. This is a fundraiser for Kiwanis Club, so tickets are $20 for this particular event. And we're bringing in people from the Comedy Machine, and these are individuals who have been on Comedy Central. They've been on Johnny Carson. We always bring in great comedians.
And a fundraiser on a Friday night. Sometimes you guys end up opening up some other nights, but it depends on if this sells out.
It does, and the Friday night event is a one night only at this moment, and we will see how that goes. And we're hoping that we can extend it into another evening. But right now, basically, we are booked for Friday only. And I'd suggest really on this one, get your tickets now, because there's only 120 tickets for this.
And that is on what day?
That'll be on Friday, the 26th of September.
And the gates open at 6?
Gates open at 6, showtime 7:30, and it's time to come out and laugh.
So they should come down here to Sanders Family Winery or give you a call, or where else can they get the tickets?
Always give us a call, and Kiwanis members will also have it. Probably the easiest place is just to call us, and we have the tickets here, and we can reserve them for them.
What's the phone number?
Area code 775-727, get very patriotic, 1776.
When we come back from this break, your Desert View Hospital health tip.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Welcome back to News 46. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, is the third leading cause of death worldwide. Medications are the mainstay of COPD management. A new study examined 2 different regimens and how these medications might impact older people who have COPD.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Patients with COPD not only have a difficult time breathing, but if the disease is not managed with effective medications, there can be other health problems.
It's not a disease that just affects their lungs, it affects their body. They can end up losing a lot of weight and become very weak. They can get osteoporosis and other types of diseases.
Dr. Andrea Gershon from the Sunnybrook Health Sciences Center and co-authors studied data from all across Ontario, Canada, involving patients 66 and older with COPD. Patients were newly introduced to 2 medication regimens. The 2 regimens were then compared to find out which was more effective at preventing COPD-related hospitalizations and death. The patients were followed until they were hospitalized, died, or until the end of the 7-year study period.
The first group we looked at was people who were on a long-acting beta agonist, or we call them LABAs for short, and we compared them to people who started a long-acting beta agonist and inhaled corticosteroid.
LABAs help open the narrowed airways, and inhaled corticosteroids work to decrease inflammation in those airways.
If they're on the combination therapy as opposed to the one medication alone, they're actually going to do better. They're actually going to stay out of hospital, and they're actually going to live longer. There were no increase in side effects, specifically pneumonia and osteoporosis, that we observed.
The study also included people who had a diagnosis of both asthma and COPD.
The incremental benefit of the combination therapy over the LABA alone seemed greater in people with a co-diagnosis of asthma than without asthma.
The combination therapy was also more effective when patients were not already taking a long-acting anticholinergic, another very commonly used COPD medication.
I think even as physicians, we prefer that patients be on less medication. But in this situation, we have an opportunity for patients to have a discussion with their doctors and to determine what's best for them.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Study authors say these findings need to be confirmed in other studies and clinical trials. California's Senate Bill 1438 will equip firefighters, police officers, and other first responders with naloxone, an antidote that can reverse the effects of prescription painkillers and heroin and abruptly stop an overdose episode. The bill requires that naloxone training be provided to first responders who provide basic life support, such as professional firefighters. It also provides voluntary training for police and other public safety personnel. Officials say prescription painkiller abuse afflicts people of all ages and backgrounds. Making naloxone available to law enforcement can prevent needless deaths and give victims a second chance to seek treatment and break their addiction. Drug overdoses are the leading cause of accidental death in the United States, killing about 38,000 people per year. At least 17 states have adopted measures to increase access to naloxone, and 6 others have either passed or have pending legislation that explicitly authorizes first responders to carry and administer naloxone. A lightning strike burnt a historic mercantile building to the ground in Rhyolite on Saturday. The Beatty Volunteer Fire Department responded to the building next to the famous Bottle House and were able to extinguish the blaze, which resulted in a total loss of the structure. The store was built in 1906 and moved from Rhyolite to a couple of other towns, then back home again to Rhyolite in 1972. Owned by the BLM, it was the largest surviving wooden structure in the ghost town. After the break, we'll have your entertainment this week.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Nathan Adelson Hospice, proud to be the hospice of choice in Pahrump for 15 years. Please call 775-751-6700 to find out how Nathan Adelson can assist you.
California Department of Corrections released 2 previously unseen photos of convicted killer Phil Spector, who has been in prison for more than 5 years with another 14 to go. The music legend's latest prison mugshots show both a happy and a sad face. Spector, who is being held at the California Healthcare Facility in Stockton, is eligible for parole consideration when he turns 88. The 70-year-old Spector was convicted of second-degree murder in the 2003 shooting death of actress Lana Clarkson. The mugshots, which also were taken in 2013, also show Spector without his infamous curly wigs, which he has not been able to wear since he was locked up after his May 2009 conviction. Corrections officials said the wigs are banned because they could be used to hide contraband. Spector's wall of sound approach to record production, the layering of instrumental tracks and percussion that underpinned a string of hits in his Phillies label, changed the music world in the 1960s. Modern Family actress Sarah Hyland asked for and received a temporary restraining order against her ex-boyfriend, actor Matthew Prokop. Hyland said in her court papers that Prokop relentlessly bombarded her with vile, threatening, and emotionally disturbing texts and voicemails, including his own suicide threats. He also reportedly choked the 23-year-old. Hyland, who plays Haley Dunphy on Modern Family, met Prokop, who is 24, when they both auditioned for Disney's High School Musical. They split in August after 5 years of dating. Singer Rod Stewart is facing a lawsuit for a soccer ball he apparently kicked into a crowd during a show in Las Vegas. A Southern California man says his nose was broken at the concert in October of 2012. Mustafa Kashi's civil negligence complaint filed Monday in Nevada State Court alleges that a ball that the British singer kicked from the stage at the Caesars Palace Resort hit him. The lawsuit seeks unspecified damages of at least $10,000, plus attorney's fees from Stewart, promoter AEG Live, and Caesars Entertainment Corporation. Kashi's attorney says Kashi has substantial injuries, including the loss of the sense of smell. Singer George Hamilton IV, known as the International Ambassador of Country Music, has died at a Nashville hospital following a heart attack. He was 77 years old. Hamilton's biggest hit was Abilene, which reached #1 on the country charts in 1963 and returned him to the pop charts. His other country hits were Before This Day Ends, 3 Steps to the Phone, and If You Don't Know, I Ain't Gonna Tell Ya. Hamilton performed around the world and became the first American country singer to appear in the Soviet Union and Czechoslovakia, and was the first to record a studio album in Eastern Europe. I'm Deanne O'Donnell. That's your entertainment this week.
Mudrooms are quickly becoming an essential addition, providing organization and storage solutions for busy families. They can be created even in the smallest of spaces and help bring order to the most used entry of your home. And today's Angie's List report, making the most of your mudroom. When Nadine Malind started house hunting, a mudroom was on her must-have list.
Just for various reasons in terms of the weather and the dog and dirt and mud and bugs and everything else, we wanted to have a separate entryway where we could come in, take off our shoes, have the dog's feet wiped down, and drop our book bags and other things in a separate space.
A mudroom was missing from the home she fell in love with, so Malin decided to add one.
Really love that it has a big closet, and we've built in some shelves for organizing and a place to put mops and brooms and the dog food and hats and all those kinds of things.
Mudrooms are often located just off kitchens or near garages. They offer the perfect place to easily transition in and out of the house. Professional organizers like Becky Gaynor say a mudroom is a great space to store your on-the-go supplies, like coats, bags, and shoes. But don't let it become a chaotic catch-all.
So the number one thing is limiting how much is kept in there. And then define boundaries. Really let each family member know what you expect to keep in that area, but pare it down. Really pare it down.
When organizing your mudroom, Gaynor says you should assess your inventory and give each family member a dedicated space. But don't make things too complicated.
Don't stress yourself out and over-organize. We want these systems easy to maintain and easy to access and use for everybody.
Angie's List says mudrooms not only increase the value of your home, but they can also extend the life of your flooring in other areas of the house and help you save on heating costs.
What many people don't realize when it comes to installing a mudroom is it actually can make your home more energy efficient. By adding an energy efficient door on the inside of your mudroom, you can actually block that cold air from ever entering your home, saving you dollars on your energy bills.
If you don't have a defined entryway or mudroom, professional organizers tell Angie's List you should consider purchasing a shoe organizer to utilize vertical space and install hooks to hang coats and backpacks near the front door. I'm Noah Began for News 46.
Thanks so much, Noah. NASCAR driver Tony Stewart won't face charges in connection with the on-track death of sprint car racer Kevin Ward Jr. Stewart, a three-time NASCAR Top Series champion, was driving a dirt track car when the right rear tire hit Ward, who was walking on the track as cars slowly circled during a break in an Empire Super Sprint Series race August 9th in Canandaigua, New York. 20-year-old Ward died of massive blunt force trauma before paramedics could get him to a hospital. The district attorney said after listening to and questioning all the witnesses and reviewing all of the evidence, the grand jury has decided that there is no evidence to charge Tony Stewart with any crimes. Well, you might need a pen if you know any flood victims recently who need an attorney. The Nevada State Bar says free legal assistance is available for people dealing with government agencies, insurance companies, landlords, contractors, and banks after recent flooding in Clark County and the Moapa Paiute Reservation northeast of Las Vegas. Officials will be at the Moapa Valley Community Center in Overton from 3 to 5 p.m. on Monday to match flood victims who can't afford an attorney with lawyers volunteering their time. Flood victims can also contact Nevada Legal Services at 866-432-0404. And I'll give you the number again, 866-432-0404. There's also another number for the Legal Aid Center, 702-386-1070, 702-386-1070. Officials tallied 139 flood-damaged homes in Moapa, Overton, and Logandale following the September 8th storm. When we come back from this break, we'll have your first business brief and your weather.
This is the first business brief for Wednesday, September 24th. I'm Angela Miles. Bumper crop. The harvest season is turning into a record breaker due to the cool summer temps. The Ag Department rates 75% of corn crops is either good or excellent. With so much supply in the market, corn futures are at a 4-year low. The U.S. Treasury Department takes aim at so-called tax inversions. Secretary Jack Lew outlined new rules on Tuesday. It will now be more difficult for a U.S. company to reincorporate overseas to lower its tax bill. Shares of fast food chain Burger King and drug maker AbbVie tumbled Tuesday. Both are pursuing inversions. And so much for trickle-down economics. A new survey reveals billionaires are hoarding rather than spending their cash. Worldwide, billionaires are each holding on to $600 million. That's the equivalent to an average of 19% of their net worth. That's the first business brief. I'm Angela Miles.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body.
Hello and welcome back to News 46. Today is Wednesday, September 24th. Today we had sunny skies with a high of 96 degrees. Your average temperature around this time of year is actually 91 degrees, so it's a little hotter outside than it usually is around this time of year. Winds were coming from the south-southwest today at 4 miles per hour with gusts up to 9 miles per hour. The UV index today was 5, which is moderate. Humidity was at 12% today. Sunrise was at 6:33 this morning, and the record high in 1947 was 106 degrees. Well, tonight we'll have clear skies with a low of 69 degrees. Your average temperature at this time of year is 68 degrees, so we'll have some pretty average temperatures. Winds will be coming from the south at 5 miles per hour with a gust up to 7. 1941 was 45 degrees. Well, tomorrow we'll have sunny skies and high winds with a high of 97 degrees and a low of 68 degrees. Winds will be coming from the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour with gusts up to 16 miles per hour, so we'll have those high winds out there. Humidity will be at 24%. Sunrise will be at 6:34 a.m. and the UV index will be 7, which is high. For our 7-day forecast, we'll have lots of sunshine. Your high temperatures will be starting off in the high 90s, going down into the low 80s this weekend, and working their way back up into the mid 80s through next week. And your low temperatures will be looking at a similar pattern, starting in the high 60s, going down into the low 50s around this Saturday, and working their way back up into the high 50s through these next 7 days.
Good job, Noah, bringing us some good weather for the Fall Festival and Parade once again on Saturday morning out there on Highway 160. An Alzheimer's workshop will be held this Friday from 11:30 to 12:30. Know the 10 Signs Early Detection Matters will be held in the library meeting room located on East Street. Early detections of Alzheimer's disease gives you a chance to begin drug therapy, enroll in clinical studies, and plan for the future. For more information, you can give them a call, 800-272-3900. And once again, that is going to be held Friday in the library on East Street from 11:30 to 12:30, and that is, of course, free to the public. That's going to do it for this edition of News 46 from everyone up here at KPVM-TV. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.